Thanks YouTube for crashing, by the way. So it turns out I will not be able to go back on the videos and look at comments because it crashes the YouTube stream. So perfect. Enzo! Hopefully people will pick up and see on this one. Fuck, that sucks. Hey, there it goes. I see a few people showing up now. That's so stupid. I tried to switch over to the app, and yeah. So I was trying to switch over to see the questions I had on my phone, but it won't let me do anything else. It just crashes the app as soon as I try to launch anything with the live YouTube thing. So, fuck. Yeah, you know, hindsight's a bitch. Like, I got my laptop and stuff in there. I can't remember some of the questions. Oh, ranting about my hat. Yeah. Yeah, Colorado trip, when you do that. Again, I'm not a professional streamer, obviously. Blah, blah, blah. So, God, if those dogs start barking, I'm going to lose my shit. It's been quiet for so long. It'd be my luck as soon as I start screaming that the stuff starts going off. But anyway, a few questions about Rally. I heard Brandon was asking me about what the common person needs to know about Rally or how to get into Rally. Man, it's a really good question, and that's something I want to answer through YouTube itself and through helping out people. I swear those dogs start barking. So easiest, spectating. The best option, always volunteering, helping set up, do whatever. I mean, you can go spectate at any of them for free. Spectator guides are readily available. The best thing to do is follow one of the major sites like ARA or something like that to kind of see the schedule and see when they're going to be out. I mean, shameless plug, you can always follow the Recce Crew because we're always going to talk about that stuff when it's around. Speaking of which, I need to make that announcement real soon. They'll be up there. Yeah, no, the easiest route is definitely that, is you go to spectate and go do volunteering, go do that kind of stuff, see if it's something you like. And the people around Rally are generally just awesome. You'll get a few turds. You'll get those car daddy kind of people that think they're above the law and then go out and do whatever they want to. I'm not talking about bad about car daddy, but I'm just saying that's kind of not the best look for Rally, is having people just go find their own path and go down and stand next to the road. I mean, yeah, well, I wish I could have Card out of here to be with me to talk, you know. Oh, what are the other questions? Someone asked what my go-to coffee was, my coffee order. So if I want coffee, I'm pretty basic, just cream, sugar. But if I'm going to a coffee shop, my 100% every time, my boys know, Ben and David know, it's always chai tea latte. It's usually, sometimes if it's like really early morning and you wake up, it'll be a dirty chai tea latte, with espresso. But I'm a big chai tea guy. Always have been. As soon as I found out about it, I remember finding out about it. I was like 16 or 17. And I was like, oh man, this is the truth. This is forever what I'm going to order is chai tea lattes. So that's my basic white girl cup that I always get. Oh, what were some of the other questions? Wade asked how I got to move to Shirley and how I ended up here in Hot Springs. Yeah, nice. Yeah, those freaking chai teas are best. I don't know if I have matcha with it. I'm pretty sure I have. I can't honestly think right now if I have or not. We'll try some next week. Uh, what else? Oh, Wade just asked me how I got to Shirley. Man, how I got to Shirley, where my hometown, where I ended up going to school and graduating high school from. Really weird, long story. So I was born in Hot Springs, where I'm at now. We moved to Malvern Magnet Cove, and if Dad's watching, you can correct me. Then to Benton, and then we moved, Mom and I, to California, and lived in Stockton, California for a while. Sorry, there's a frog over there. Moved to California, then to Beaumont, Texas, and then eventually to Tampa, Florida, when I was all before the age of 5. Like, I was super young. And my brother passed away, Brad, in 93, and my mom wanted to move closer to be with the rest of the family, so we moved back to Arkansas. And my brother, Dwayne, at the time, was living in Fairfield Bay. So we moved in with him. We all got a house together. And It's kind of how I grew up living together. We grew up and we just stayed there in Fairfield Bay and moved out to Shirley eventually, a few years into it. And that's kind of how that happened. How I ended up back here in Hot Springs, most people know that. Like I went to school in Little Rock, UALR, engineering school. Moved to Camden after that, Arkansas, which is like 2 hours south of Hot Springs, or of Little Rock. Super tiny place. Moved down to Camden. Everybody knows what happened to Camden. And I was primed and ready to move to Austin, Texas. But with everything that went on and everything, I just needed to kind of settle for a little bit and kind of find my feet again. So my sister offered for me to stay here, and so I'm staying here for the time being. But yeah, I know that this is not a permanent spot again, kind of like Camden was. I really long to have that permanent spot. And I have ever since I got out of school. I always want to have my own workshop and my mill and my lathe, my lift and all my car parts and all my car stuff, and just have my own personal little stuff like that. And that's kind of what I'm working to. I've got some stuff coming up soon, some job interviews and some opportunities. I've kind of explained it the way that what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for that one opportunity to come out, reach their hand down, and say, hey, this is for you. Would you accept? You know, we'll be off the races, so we'll see. If that happens, awesome. If not, we'll see. Oh, what were some other questions? Well, what you guys got questions? What do you got? You guys got anything on your mind? Today you asked me something earlier, and I was like, that'd be a good question. Oh, what kind of music I've listened to? I was like, you know, that'd be a good question for tonight, because I listen to a lot of stuff. Growing up, I was kind of off the leash of what I could listen to. Like, my mom and they didn't care what I listened to. There's kind of the rule of listen to whatever, just don't repeat what you hear. So, you know, at age like 10, 11, 12, I was listening to like Eminem and like Dre and like Tech Nine, 3 6 Mafia. Like, I was listening to like some pretty rowdy stuff for a young wee tot. And then you go back and forth, and I really started finding my love for music about 2015, where I really started branching out to everything. And right now, my playlist is everything from like Lorna Shore, you know, deathcore stuff, all the way to like Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus. I mean, that's kind of, and then even like this last week, I was listening to like girl boss radio, so we're calling it. I was listening to like Melissa Etheridge and like Alanis Morissette, just like literally anything and everything. I get in these kicks and stuff. Right now, I mean, obviously, Wu-Tang Clan's huge for me, like one of my favorites of all time. I always respect the Wu-Woos forever. One of my tattoos coming up soon will be a Wu-Tang, protect your neck. Rainbow Kitten Surprise, went and saw them. Yeah, Cupcake, yeah, we all know about Cupcake. Like, I call it Cupcake, you call it Cupcake. I think I know it. I think I understand what Cupcake is supposed to be. Just saying. You can debate me about that, but I'm pretty sure it's Cupcake. Rainbow Kitten Surprise, I saw them in the concert race recently. I fucking love them. Great band. Really great live too. Ghost. Everybody knows I like Ghost. Ghost is kind of polarizing in the music world, because you either love them or you hate them. I'm definitely in the camp of loving them. I found them in like 2014, 2013 areas, so like I knew them really early on before they kind of started taking off. So it's kind of a cool band for me that I've always been following. Oh man, it's really hard to nail down what exactly kind of music I listen to, because it's quite the laundry list of stuff. But as more people coming in, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm trying to think if someone wants to actually go. Thank you, Ryan. That means a lot to me. I try to share things that I'm like, you know what? I bet this person would probably vibe with this. My car group, we actually have a whole like separate chat dedicated just finding new music, and that helps me out a lot too. And I love just finding like random music people really dig, and it means a lot to them, and kind of going through it and kind of learn more about the people. One night, Julian Sabot and I got together, and we were just talking about kind of our past and like how he grew up and his why he left and why he ended up in America. And we found out that we both really liked old school punk a lot. Like we really liked punk. And he showed me a lot of like punk bands from France, from like 80s and 90s and stuff like that. And that was really neat. I was really able to find a lot of really cool shit that I'd never heard before. And there's a little bit of crossover, but almost all brand new bands of course I'd never heard of. And they're all speaking French. So I don't really know what they're saying, but it sounds pretty sick. But no, yeah, that's like my favorite thing is learning like learning about people through music. That can tell me a lot about who you are. Like, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, what's a good litmus test for what someone's music taste would be, and what would it be a question I would ask somebody trying to figure out, trying to gauge their response. And I think the one I settled on is like, if I, and I'm going to taint the audience, so the people watching right this, you can't use this answer because you'll know what my trick question is. I want to ask, if I walk up to you and say, what do you think about Kanye West as an artist? If I say an artist, then it kind of throws it off. If I say, what do you think about Kanye West? And they immediately go, oh my God, he's the craziest, worst person. He's a crazy psycho stalker. I get that, but as an artist, he's a fucking genius. Like, you cannot deny that. Like, his first few albums, amazing. Like, I feel shameful buying them now because it's kind of, he's not a great person outside of the music world, but like, man, Graduation, Dropout, all those albums, pretty fire. And I found out that other people feel that same way too. But yeah, I can pretty much tell exactly what you're going to say if you say that, what your response is to that kind of question. Creed, I don't know about that one. Creed kind of gets, it's kind of like, I was watching some video the other day, and a guy was going around, what do you think about the Chili Peppers? Or what do you think about the Chili Peppers? And his response he's looking for was thumbs down, and they're fine. Not my favorite, but I don't think they deserve the hate he was giving them, but I'm kind of on the fence about that. It's like the Beatles. Like, I'm not a Beatles guy, if you know me well. Oh, what are some other questions we had? Enzo's laying in the yard. He doesn't like to be about the pool very often. He thinks I'm gonna splash when I throw him in. If someone wants to pull up my other video, you can type out the questions. That might help. I know it's asking a lot, but cannot. If I close this again, it's probably just gonna crash. So I'm not gonna mess with it this time. Let's see the chat. Oh, there is something else about my channel I just found out. So, if you've seen memberships on YouTube, it's kind of cool. Like, it's like Patreon built into YouTube, and it allows you to subscribe to me for $4 a month, and just helps the channel out. And what's really good is it helps like smaller channels like me, because my ad revenue is not much. I'm total honesty. Like, if I make $200 a month, awesome, off YouTube. That's pretty standard right now with the slowness I've been kind of putting out stuff. But that subscription thing, the membership thing, is pretty neat, and it'll allow me kind of to work in some new deals with like people that actually are really dedicated to watching what I do and really want to support me. What I'm thinking about doing is, the first off is I want to if I get a few members, like we'll say up to 10 members, I'll start picking like one person to go to a rally with me, like spend a rally weekend with me and the crew. And like, I think that'd be a good incentive for people to start signing up to be a member. Because that kind of weekend, you won't get that kind of rally experience anywhere else, like going around and seeing what we see and doing what we do. And I think if I hit like 50 to 100 like members, like that's a humongous lofty goal. I think if I did hit 100 members, I want to give away one of my wagons, the red auto wagon. That way, I'm just trying to think of some really good incentives to put in there as a membership. If you think that's something you might want to do, just let me know, because it's really neat that they finally opened that up for my channel. They opened up super chats too, so you can donate during a chat. I try not to be super like, I don't want to beg for money. I want people to be able to get content and get enjoyment out of my videos. So that's why the membership thing would be a good thing. That way, if you're signed up, it gives you a chance to actually do something with me, or go on a trip with us, go run to the rallies, go see that kind of side of stuff. But yeah, that got approved today. That's kind of neat. You are the best, Danae. Thank you. What got you into shooting rallies? What was your first rally? So what got me into shooting rallies? So that's a good question. I've told this to a few people, and I started going to my very first rally I ever went to. The first one I attended as a spectator was 100 Acre Woods, 2014. Yeah, it was 2014. So the very first stage we saw was probably a left 6 sweeper, just a beautiful long sweeper right in front of us in the middle of the woods. Ryan was with me. He's watching. And we were there, and Ken Block goes by, and his little Fiesta R2, or is an R5, but it's like the older version of the R5. I forgot what it's actually designated as. He came by us going like at least 100 miles an hour sideways, just wow over the crest. You know how fast 100 Acre Woods is. And we got annihilated. Of course, the spectator spot was on the outside of the sweeper going that fast, and we got pelted. We got annihilated by rocks. And I'm smiling, giggling, having a good time. Some lady next to us starts losing her shit. She's like, "Oh my God, this is not safe. We're gonna die." And you know, looking back, she was probably right. And we're trying to calm her down a little bit and say, "Oh yeah, no," or we were like, "No, we should be fine. We should be fine. You know, we're out of the way enough." And the next car comes by. I forget who was next in the line, but he came flying by, tearing up gravel, throwing it all over us. And she's like, "These guys never crash, right? They don't crash." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Rally's known for. It goes pretty gnarly crashes." And then she bent back on, "Oh, we're gonna die." I was like, just leave. It's not that hard. You don't have to stand here. But in hindsight, yeah, that's not a great corner to stand on. That was, you know, where the spectator spot was. "Hey, Brandon." Everybody say hi, Brandon. Don't say let's go. Kind of spicy. Not my kind of jam, if you know what I mean. So what got me started into shooting rallies? So what I got started into shooting rallies, I bought my first big boy camera in 2017. I got a big bonus at work for some project I was working on, and they gave me a pretty substantial hunk of money. I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy my first big boy camera. And so I went and bought a Canon 80D, and I started shooting rallies with that. So I went to 100 Acre Woods shortly afterwards, and I shot a couple cars, and just did my own thing. I started YouTube a little bit, so I started to do my own little YouTube thing. And I got home and really liked it, so I did it again the next year. And after I got back next year, I found out I did the same thing. I took pictures, took a few videos, and I posted on Facebook for the, I think, Rally America page, or Rally North America page. And a few people started saying, "Hey, I really like this. This is really cool. I'd like to buy some of this stuff from you." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Sure, that's fine." I was like, well, actually, I gave resistance. Like, "No, I'll give it to you for free. Don't worry about it. I don't know what I'm doing. Here's some stuff." They're like, "No, I insist. Let me pay you." So I was like, "All right, $5-10, whatever it was at the time." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then the next year I did it, and they really liked it. 2018, no wait, 2019 is when I started taking this to the business side of things. And they went to do it again, and people were like, "Oh yeah, I really like that." And I decided, you know what, I really like this kind of stuff. I would like to go to more rallies. So I wanted to go to Olympus Rally because I'd always seen pictures of it and always seen how awesome it looked. So I said, "Hey, if someone can help cover my stuff, I will go up there and shoot for you." And within 3 hours, I had it all covered. Went up there, shot for the people I said I'd shoot for, and more people were asking, "Hey, did you get anything of us?" And me, I was like, "Yeah, sure, man. I got everybody," because I took pictures of everybody. And they were so excited because someone had stayed for the last few cars. Like, I stayed for all the cars because it's cool. Man. A rally car is a rally car. I don't care what place they're in. And they're really super excited. Like, "Oh my gosh, no one ever stays for us. Thanks so much." The Canadian geese are a little antsy back there. So I thought, it was like, you know what, that's kind of neat. I like the feeling of staying for those guys because, I've been that guy. I've been in the back of the pack where no one takes pictures of you. And I know how important that one picture can be, like my video yesterday. So I picked up, got them taken care of, made a little bit of scratch. I was like, oh, I got all my stuff paid for, and I made money on top of it to come home. I was like, that's awesome. I want to do that again. So I did LSPR that year, 2019. Yeah, the other 98% is what I worked on last 2021. And I do have all that footage, and I'm probably going to re-release it all because I have that whole year shot. I just haven't finished it up, so that's on me. And I'm sorry that I've been kind of lacking on that, but it's hard to get that creative juice and that flow. It's like it's so hard to get that going. Hard to explain, but anyway. Yeah, so I did the LSPR that year. Did the same kind of thing. I said, "Hey, if anybody wants to get me up there and help me, I'll take care of it. I'll go up there and do my thing." Well, turns out Scott Crouch, Preston Osborne got me in touch with Scott Crouch, and he's like, "Hey man, I got you covered for everything." He said, "I'll get you up there. If you want to shoot a documentary," because Preston and Cam are wanting to do like a final hurrah in the SDI. Well, Preston ended up having set out, and it was just going to be Cam and Steve Harrell. And within a few stages, like 3 or 4 stages, the car caught on fire, and it was kind of a wash weekend. So I still filmed everybody else and was able to get a few packages put together and make some money. And I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. I made a little bit more money than I did at Olympus. So next year rolls around, 2020, and Brett Hunter said, hey man, I want you to come out and do a full documentary for me. I want to give you a shot. He said, I've tried to do that before, and the guy just gave me a couple GoPro shots of me going by, and that was it. He said, I want something more in depth. So I went and shot a whole 30 or 40 minute long documentary for him. It's on my YouTube channel. If you search Brett Hunter documentary, it'll pull up. Those Canadian geese are freaking getting it back there. I hope you guys can hear that. Anyway, so I shot the whole documentary, and it turned out awesome. I really enjoyed the work I did there. I know it was my first documentary, but it felt cool putting that all together. And out there, I met Rupert Barrington. And if you know Rupert, he's the wizard behind the guy behind the curtain. Like, he's amazing. He's super smart when it comes to rally. He's been doing rally photography and or action photography in general for like 30 years at this point. Amazing guy. I love Rupert to death, and he kind of schooled me on the business side of things. And when I understand the business side of things, I realized, okay, and I talked about how I got started doing free media, and he told me right there, right then, something that was really important to me. He said, free media devalues all media. And it took me a minute, but it finally sunk into why that makes sense. And that's why I try to encourage new guys to still go ahead and charge something. I don't care if it's $5, $8, $10, something to put on there. And it's not because we're trying to get rich. It just helps the entire ecosystem of photography and media in itself by not having someone just dump their free stuff out there and say, hey man, just take what you want. So talking to Rupert, he kind of got me into that whole mindset of the business angle of it. And that is why I decided to do the Wrecking Crew. Like, I wanted to set out in 2021 for me and my boys, me and David and Ben, to go to every single national event. I knew if we could huck it, I knew that if we could make that happen and make that work, that if we did that all year long with no hiccups, no nothing, if it all went smooth, we all had a good time. That's the most important part. Okay, that's no problem today. Thank you so much for your help. That helps tremendously. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for that, because I forgot about this. Anyway, I wanted to make sure if we could huck it and make it all the way through 2021 by going to all the national events, that this is a business and we can turn this into a legit good having business. So that's what we did. We went to every single national event. Ben and I didn't go to Snowdrift 2021, but all three of us made it to every other national event with 100 Acre Woods, Olympus, OTR, SOFR, NEFR, Ojibwe, LSBR, everything. And I even did Rally Colorado again last year because I love Rally Colorado. And if you haven't been to Rally Colorado, I highly suggest you get there if you're not going to NEFR. So yeah, no, we did that and then some, and it worked out great. So this year I started the Wrecking Crew, which most of you guys know about that. If you haven't, it's WRECCE Crew, and you can find us Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Well, since GF, since you're actually in the chat, I'll go ahead and, what's my favorite food? Man, that is a real tough question. Lately, it's not been great. I've been eating a lot of hot dogs. I've been talking to some people about that. It's like taking a big L every time I have a hot dog. I don't know why. My favorite food, though, I do love sushi. I love treating myself to sushi. I think probably my favorite overall food is pretty basic. It's steak. Like, I love steak. Like, I cook a steak. I cook like 2 steaks a week sometimes. But yeah, sushi, Greek food, and Euro fusion. Like, there's so many just good foods out there. Like, I'm a big food guy. Like, I'm not humongous on pho. Like, I've tried it and it's not, maybe mine wasn't that good. I'll try it again somewhere else, but I've tried like kombucha and stuff like that, and it's fine. It's not like I go out of my way to go get it every day. So Lars, while you're here, I'll go ahead and answer yours. What cameras are you using now for vlogs? So typically on the vlog, I use my GoPro Hero 9. Sometimes I'll switch over my Canon 90D. I have my Canon R5, but I don't use that for vlogs. It gets way overkill for vlogs, and I don't have a good lens for doing vlog stuff for it. But the GoPros are by far the easiest thing in the entire world. Right now, I'm even just using my phone. That's an easy one. Let's see. Oh, an editing program, Premiere Pro. I've edited on Vegas Pro, which is a Sony Vegas Pro. I edited on that for 8 years, probably. When I was doing like my racing video, or I will see you next week. You'll see me and Enzo. We'll be out there hanging out. You'll see us in park. You'll see us running around. If you see me, please say hi, because sometimes I get face blind because I know so many people at Rally at this point. Like, I can recognize people, but it takes me a second to say who I think it is, or is that someone else? So please say hi. I'm trying my best. But yeah, sorry for the editing. Premiere Pro. That's what I use. Premiere Pro, whatever the latest thing is. It's a subscription service, but it's totally worth it because it's got the most modern stuff to it. Like, that's what I didn't like about Vegas Pro, is it was kind of outdated. Of course, I was using a really kind of older version of it anyway. So let's go back to the other questions. Daniel asked, if you had a large sum of money and could build a wagon any way you wanted, what would you build and why? If I could make my perfect, I will come find you then. If I could build the perfect wagon, money was no issue, I would build a pre-runner wagon. And I've wanted to do this so bad, like a Baja 1000 like wagon build. Like really long, exaggerated features everywhere. They got 2 spare tires in the back hatch with the back cut out. Just long travel, still K series or something like maybe J. No, it's a K. Just do a K series, something just wild, reliable. That would probably be my dream. I've thought about that so many times. Like, I'd love to do that. Just no money questions. Also, a big like time tag. Brandon, I know exactly what you're referring to, and right now, about that much. About that. Probably have to go with Skull, though. I think the Skull's more my style. I swear I have ADD. Yeah, I'm sure you could, but that's a lot of this. Especially the way metal and everything is right now. I really would, like, I'll talk to you about that more, Lars. I got some really good stuff that I really want to do with that, and I would like to see what you can do with the wagon. Let's see. What was the other question? Sean was asking about the GoPros. So, what is my official opinion on GoPros? Well, as you know, I have been very not having great luck with GoPros lately. So the one I jumped in the pool with, it fried a lot of things. I got it in rice pretty quick, but it's still pretty screwed up, and it's made it kind of unreliable, even more so than GoPros already are. So I main vlog with a Hero 9 Black Series, but the 10 is out now. But I've heard even the 10 has even more reliability issues, which is the last thing I need when I'm out there doing rally stuff, because I need something that I can count on. It will upset me to no end if the camera doesn't record something like that. That's one thing I just needed to work all the time. It's just the camera, just record, just do your thing. That's all I ask you to do. I had some issues like that some teeth cutting issues when I was doing rally videos for the longest time, with just random stuff, either like turning off or batteries dying or this and that. And I've solved a lot of those issues with building redundancy into my systems and into my kits. That way I have extra stuff on board all the time. Sorry, another whole tangent. GoPros in general, don't like them. Absolutely hate them, but I'm stuck with them because they work really. I mean, I attribute it to like someone who likes Apple because it does everything they need, but they don't know anything about it, and they're stuck in that environment, that ecosystem. It's kind of how I feel about GoPro. Like, I don't like GoPro because I know it doesn't work well, but I'm stuck with that ecosystem. Like, it just, like, well, whatever. I have, like, Brett Hunter gave me like 10 GoPro Hero 3s, so I have a whole bag full of those. I use the sacrificial GoPros or putting them somewhere wild. And I got my really expensive Hero 9 that's falling apart. And I just bought a GoPro Max, the 360. because I got some ideas of stuff I want to do on stage with that. So we'll see. It's GoPro's not my favorite. I never have a huge fan of those. Yeah, the Sony. I'm curious about how the Sony action cams go, because I've seen some drift guys that have switched over to those and had pretty good luck. The DJI Osmosis or Action Cam or whatever it was called. I think the Osmosis is the gimbal. But yeah, I know they're pretty good for a while, but they didn't. I don't think they really did a whole lot. I really like DJI stuff. They have the new little cube camera, but it's like $541 for that one little tiny cube. Sure, it's great, but being in the GoPro environment, I don't know. I'm afraid to put all my eggs in that basket and then that camera not work. Even worse, or something else, something new problem I have to deal with, a workaround. But Sony, I've heard pretty decent things so far. It overheats, man, that sucks. I've heard that even my Hero 9 will get hot every once in a while when I have the media mod little case thing on it. My other GoPros, I really haven't had any problem with them overheating, but oh man, drones and ARA. So I think their insurance finally cracked down on them because they're seeing a lot of GoPro stuff and they weren't getting a whole lot of like insurance submittals. So I think they kind of caught wind of that, and the dinosaurs got upset about that. And so now they're cracking down, and you have to have proof of all your licensures and your like $1 million insurance or something like silly like that, which isn't crazy to do, but it's a lot of work. So not only do you have to go in and buy a $2,000 or $3,000 drone, but you then also have to have your license and insurance and all that. And also it takes my hands away from my other cameras that I'm running, so it's tough. Like when I was running the drone before, it was tough doing it, flying the drone and doing all the other cameras, working the GoPros and the Canons and whatnot. It was a logistical nightmare because what would happen is I'd wait till like 2 or 3 cars go by, and I knew like Texas Dave or like Tom Williams would come up, and I'd put the drone up, film those guys, and you'd run out of battery like probably car 15 or 16. I'd drop it, and then you get a couple cars go by as you're trying to switch batteries and all this other stuff, and put it back in the air. Of course, some of those cars that go by end up being your clients, and they're like, well, where's my GoPro? Or where's my drone footage? That's tough. It really is. It sucks because I want to get everybody, but in a perfect world, what I need to do is I need to hire somebody with a 107 license, which I know a guy who's working on his, and he does awesome stuff, and I'm trying to hire him on, but doing that and delicately balancing the price of a media package for rally people is really, really, really difficult. It really is, because I never want to charge more than I have to. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm just trying to make my way back home, and it's really difficult to do that when I'm trying to hire on extra people, because I hired on an extra guy for Olympus, and it's great, but again, I ended up not even I didn't break even for Olympus with my trip, and paying for 2 guys and paying for all the food and hotel, rental car. It sucked. That's why I didn't make OTR. Like I really wanted to go to Oregon Trail, but I didn't make it because expenses. Like it didn't make sense because I can't charge. I already charge as much as I feel comfortable. Like it hurts me to charge that much, but I have to pay for me and my 3 guys to be able to travel. That's like bare bones minimum what I can charge. Yeah, it sucks. Like it's tough out there. So when I quote somebody what my media prices are, I promise I'm not trying to get rich. Any more questions? Jordan, he had a question a while back. Sorry, it took me a second to get to it. He asked, what does rally give me more than any other motorsport? So what I really like about rally, and I've thought about this at length, why rally and why is it the thing that I chose to go after? Play mosquitoes. Another one. So rally, it really tickles my fancy because of the attrition. Like the absolute brutal beating these cars take, and the drivers and the co-drivers and everybody else takes. And you have to last through that for the entire event, and you have to make it to the end, and somehow try to be fast while you're doing it. And seeing these roads, seeing the conditions that they go through, it's even more sexy in person. I know it's weird to say it's sexy, but it really is to see a car beat the fuck out of it and still come across the finish line. you're like, oh man, like I've seen some crazy stuff. Even like Sofer this year, like the cars hitting on Yaktangi, destroying themselves, almost bananaing them, and then back out there doing it again. Tony, I see you. I know that was you. Crazy. I can't believe your struts really bananas. And you still were able to swap those things out and get back out there and rip up the stages. But to see like cars like go through that and see teams and see like the prep work, it's all very. I like the very thought out process. You have to think. You have to really think about rally. You got to think about what to expect, how to expect the unexpected, like how to build in redundancy, how to be like, okay, that's a problem, or it could be a problem. How can I solve that and make it to the end of the rally? That's one thing I always like about the high end, like rally cars. Like I like to go snoop around those guys, like the Team Subarus and the Hyundais and Kens and all that stuff. I like to see like what redundancy they built in, because you know that they've been there before, they've had that failure before, and they're ready for it. It's like the dual fuel pumps they're putting in like Texas Dave's car, like stuff like that. It's really interesting to me to know that, hey, that's some way to have an edge on somebody, is to be a little bit more prepared, because as you know, luck favors the prepared. One of my favorite mottos. But yeah, I think that, and also racing on dirt and gravel, like that's just awesome. Like I grew up doing that as a kid. I grew up on the road to my house was dirt road, both ways, like a couple miles. Like there was no pavement. There wasn't any pavement until I moved out. And I grew up racing from four-wheelers and quads up and down those things, going sideways all the time. And that's when I saw rally in person, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. This is my jam. This is where I was supposed to be. Because I always grew up as like a Gran Turismo kid and want to be a kart racer and track racer and get up to the LM cars. And sure, I'd love to do that, but I grew up in Arkansas. I grew up dirt poor. Like that's not my future. That's not my cards. But rally is very much in my cards, and I can make it happen, and I know how to make it happen. I know the path. It just takes time. Takes a lot of thought. Takes a lot of planning. And I was almost there when I still my rally car, but you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'll be back out there eventually. So Brandon, we still gotta get together for a podcast. Me and the Spider Mini, like me and him, like we're kindred spirits. Like I don't know where we were separated at birth, but at some point we were. Same with Danae. Like we've become really good friends lately. I think we're the same person too. Like really good to meet a lot of neat people lately. Let's see. Some more questions. Oh, so another thing I really hadn't talked about is, you know, so there's a bunch of unreleased footage I have that I've shot over the years, and would you guys be interested if I started kind of putting that kind of stuff out? So I have like a whole vlog I did for PRI. Yeah, we do. Stupid hair. I try not to, side note, I try not to be self-conscious about it, because there's nothing I can do about it. I know you can get surgery and you can do the treatments, but that just, it seems like a exercise in futility. Anyway, back to whatever the hell I was talking about. Oh, unreleased footage. Sorry. Brain is like a goldfish. So unreleased footage. I've got like a vlog I did for PRI. I've got a vlog for I did several like vlog kind of stuff, like out and about, and I just never released it because I was like, well, it doesn't really fit into the character of my channel. But this is a new channel. This is a new way of doing things, a new way that I want to be. I want to be more consistent, more intentional, more built into it. So I want to kind of release kind of some of that kind of stuff. So it'd be kind of neat to see. I'll make sure you say, hey, this is from 5 months ago, or it's from a year ago, whatever. I don't know if I released my pilot episode or not. But I did a pilot episode for Dashing Cars when I was very first trying to see if I could talk to a camera and work on a car at the same time. And I shot that in 2017, and that's never been released. I appreciate it, Lars. And like I said, it's that way. It's a more connection thing. That's what I need. I don't. All my friends. I will hit you with a vlog. So all my friends like live far away, which is just kind of the situation I'm in currently. So vlogging kind of helps out with that. It helps me kind of connect back with you guys. That way I kind of hang out with my friends still. Like, I'm not doing this as a vanity project. Look, I don't give a shit about me or anything else. This camera therapy time helps out a lot because I have someone to talk to. I've got you guys. I've got my friends back, and that's a great thing to have. The bugs are getting kind of wild out here, if you can't tell. We're losing a little bit of daylight too, but it's fine. Let's see. Please don't crash, YouTube. There. So I'll probably keep on going for a little bit longer. We'll see. So Brandon, what all cars you got nowadays? I know we talk all the time, but I don't think I've ever sit down and said, hey, what cars do you currently own? Oh, well, I may be coming back up to your neck of the woods. Maybe this year. I guess some people want me to go out west and really close to where you're at. I don't know exactly what town you said you live in, but I know you're around the Portland area. So yeah, we need to do like a PNW kind of meet thing. I've been daydreaming about fixing my wagon and driving up to the Pacific Northwest with it and spending a month or so up there with all my wagon boys. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe just keep on driving north. And I know there's something about it, like Alaska maybe. I don't know. It's just one of those things you kind of fantasize about, but it probably will never happen because that's a lot of planning, a lot of being out and about. We'll see how the rest of this year goes. So next week will be a big litmus test of how the rest of this year goes because I got a pretty big job opportunity in Connecticut. So we'll see. Horsefly. Yeah, the Honda scene up there, the car culture in general around like Seattle and Portland, phenomenal. Like I love just car watching on there. It's just so neat to see all the different stuff that's there. So many like good old classic cars still on the road out there being daily driven. It's awesome. 2022. That's right, the 1966. That's what it was. I didn't know you had a 22, Mr. Baller Cooper. Yeah, I think the Austin menu, the 66. I think that's the one that I remember. You come up there and see it and come hang out with you. I need to figure out how to get a vlog set up too, or not a vlog, podcast set up. Because I don't currently have a full vlog. I got some external mics and stuff like that, but I want to make everything I want to get into is fucking money, man. Yeah, no, everything at PDW is fucking awesome as far as car wise. You guys are very fortunate because down here's not bad. It's just a bunch of pickup trucks. Oh, you shut the fuck up. But yeah, down here in the south, it's a lot of pickup trucks, crossovers, SUVs. Most of the older cars are gonna be semi-classic muscle cars, but mostly it's nothing exciting. It's pretty rare to get like a 80s or 90s. Not so much 90s, but 80s, 70s, 60s, like import car running around. And when you do, it's kind of an occasion. It's kind of neat to see. But it seems like up there in the north, it's crazy nice. Oh, geez. Yeah, I can't imagine trying to daily your wheelies. I think about that too, that same thought whenever I drive my wagon. I'm like, well, this is 90s tech. It has auto belts too, which if I get in a crash of the wagon, I'm going to lose my head. Like, my head's going to be popped off my shoulders. And so there's that. So if you see me, you see the dash man had a crash in his wagon. God, I hope this isn't foresight. I hope this isn't and they don't have an open casket. Just know my head probably popped off. Just like your wobble dogs. Yeah, there's some good Pontiacs still on the road. Like I said, there's some like, really the GMK cars really aren't on the road that much either. Like you don't see like Plymouth Reliance or those unique weird GM cars. I think that's why they're so weird to me when I see them for sale. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that car existed. All right, Lars, we'll see you, buddy. But yeah, not a whole lot of car culture, especially not compared to the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, that makes sense. They're probably trying to hide them away from the general public and the crime and whatnot. Because that's another side of the sword with the classic cars. You get stolen pretty easily. Like Acura Integras and Accords and Civics were super easily stolen. Oh, well, I'm going to probably start wrapping up here soon. I do appreciate everybody hanging out. I really, really do. It has been awesome. So yeah, I was gonna film today and kind of answer all this other stuff, but I decided to do a live stream instead. I figured it kind of messes up my cadence of the way I was doing things, but I can only walk around the house so many times to film when I'm just walking around talking. I'll do more destination stuff. Man, it's like 100, like Brandon knows, it's been like 100 degrees here the last few days. And it's still gonna be 100 tomorrow, so boy. Yeah, I'll wrap it up. What were you guys talking about? Yeah, oh, Enzo's crying too. Enzo's ready for me to go inside. Enzo, come here. Come say bye. I'll have Enzo come say bye, then I'll wrap this up. Enzo, come. Enzo. Come buddy. Yeah, it's ridiculously hot. Let's come. All right, buddy. You say bye. You say bye to the camera. Oops. Say bye-bye. We'll say bye-bye. Sit. Don't climb on top of it. Don't climb up here. If you knock my phone in the water, I'm going to kill you. Always trying to push me in the water. Alright, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.